Good evening, folks, and welcome inside the K Arena just outside of Dieppe, New Brunswick, as we get set for some U16 action between the 12th place Thunderbirds and the 2nd place Eastern Dukes. As we get set here for puck drop moments away, we're live on High Button Sports. I'd like to thank you for tuning in. I'm Logan Carruthers as we get set for action here between the Dukes and the T-Birds. Thanks for tuning in. Learmouth on the opening draw. He'll face off against Cohen Godkin. 20 minutes on the board, and we are underway. Inside the K Arena, right off the draw, up in the air, and face off. Looks like it's going to stay down here just below us as that puck will get tossed back in. The play-by-play booth here right in the middle of the rink over in between the benches here inside the K Arena. Pretty good viewpoint, but got to be careful of that exact thing there as flying pucks. As it's worked up the wall, up to Learmouth. Through the neutral zone, Learmouth will take a check, work it in, now take a big hit. A very delayed call coming up here. Looks like it's going to be a boarding call upcoming on the Dukes. As Learmouth took a big check there. Wait to see, it's going to be number 10. Sam Dunn to the box, too. For boarding will be the call. The T-Birds to the power play here. Early goings of the opening period is only 24 seconds expiring here so far. Thunderbirds coming into this one. Power play sitting at 15%. The penalty kill of the Dukes at 76. The Dukes sit second. As the penalty gets up on the board now, the Dukes sit second in all teams in the league as they look to try to battle their way to the top against the top team, the other team from PEI in the Western Rebels, as they play off tonight against the Martello Buccaneers at the St. Margaret's Bay Center. It's worked up here. The Thunderbirds on the power play. They look to set things up. Masral plays it across. Terrio walks in. He'll work it in below. He'll chip it back off the skate of the official. That pass up to the point was fanned on and cleared all the way down by number 7, Cohen Godkin. As that'll give me some time to introduce the starting goaltenders. And in between the pipes for the Thunderbirds, number 33, Cohen Boudreau, is 200 feet down from him. For the Bucks this evening, wearing number 29 is Felix Hatton. Hatton's record on the season, an impressive 11-2 with a goals against average of 2.29 and a save percentage of .920. As the save percentage of Cohen Boudreau coming in is a .902, goals against average of .384 and a 2-11 goals or record on the season is up to the neutral zone. Here's Covey dropping that off. He'll work it up the wall as the T-Birds look to set up to the point. Peters slows things down. He'll work it D-to-D. Far side shot there into the chest. Hatton. The rebound sat out there. Chamberlain tried to bang it home, was unable to. It's worked back to the point by Terrio and back into the neutral zone. The Thunderbirds are going to have to regroup. Peters cross for Steves. He'll work it back behind the goal line. Up the wall, Chamberlain. 5 seconds remaining here on the power play. Fortin through the neutral zone. Up over the blue line. Fortin makes a move to his backhand. He'll center out of the reach of Chamberlain up to the wall. Chamberlain stops up, got it poked off of his stick. That puck off the body in the neutral zone of Steves. Worked in. Peters has pressure from Arsenault. Up the wall, Chamberlain back into his own zone. No offside there as was brought in by Chamberlain. As he'll battle for it on the wall and get it out as Arsenault and him were trying to get possession of it. As now in the neutral zone, the Dukes control. Up over the line, here's Arsenault. He'll drive wide, trying to make a move to the middle. Poked away from him, centered and turned back into the neutral zone here by the Thunderbirds. McLaughlin trying to cut to the middle, was unable to. Good defensive play is retrieving that. Quinn McDonald. He'll work it up the half wall, off a body, and into the neutral zone. Nice little move there. Was unable to get around Fisher. He'll work it in. Good forecheck there by the Dukes as that's Blaze and Fisher get tied up. A delayed call coming here. Looks like it's going to go in favor of the Dukes. McDonald, he'll set things up. Extra attacker out there is going to be McCormick. McDonald, long stretch pass all the way up into the far side blue line. There's Fisher who drew the penalty. He'll drop it. Dunn walking in. He'll dish it back down low. Gets it back off a skate. Here's Dunn to the point. It's picked off, and that'll stop play as the puck goes off the official on the far side. It's going to be a roughing call. Charge to the Thunderbirds. It looks like it's going to be Blades to the box for the rough. 2 for roughing in the box. Number 22, Elliot Blaze. And now the Dukes going to take a look at their power play coming into the game at 19%. The PK for the Thunderbirds at 84. So we'll see if the special teams are going to be a factor here in this one, as this is going to be the first look at the Dukes power play. Here's McCormick looking, shooting, and a blocker save. Good job there to get that. A blocker on that was Cohen Boudreau. At the point, McDonald, he'll walk across. And McCormick trying to go cross ice, and that cleared by the captains, Wainfeld. As the two captains out there for their respective teams. Quinn McDonald gathers behind the net. He'll set up, he'll drop it off, as now it'll be worked up here through the neutral zone. Is good speed down the far side. That'll be number 14. Got to see, I got a name on the roster there for him. No, I don't, so we'll get an update on the roster there for him. As here's McDonald. Down low, centering pass, Dunn shot on, and a save by Boudreau, holding on for the whistle. As a good feed came from down low from Mason English, as Campbell Dune wears number 14, got the name on the roster there. It's another offensive zone draw. This time Hartman's going to dig in. Fisher lined up behind him, push one back by the Thunderbirds as they want it back, and Steve able to clear it all the way down at 200. Monahan, he'll get his feet moving up through the neutral zone. Here's Monahan. He'll dish out wide, finds Hartman. Hartman with speed. He'll drive down low. Hartman protecting below the goal line, pressured by Peters. Back up top for Monahan. He's going to walk it in, let a shot go. Rebound loose, and a pad save by Boudreau. Hartman in the corner. He'll kick it over down below the goal line. Hartman looks to set things back up here. 40 seconds remaining on the power play. Shot from a sharp angle, trying to sneak it short side was Langell. And that'll get cleared down as the shot went off the back of the net. Monahan, one last chance here with half a minute remaining on the power play. Monahan, he's going to get skating up through the neutral zone over top of the Lightning's logo. Here for Langell. Langell dishing back for Arsenault off of his skate. He'll keep control. Up top for Monahan, walking, dishing back. Fisher walks in, down low, looking for an option out in front as Hartman was trying to get a stick on that. The Thunderbirds are going to clear all the way down. That was Fortin. And Monahan here with 3 seconds remaining on the power play, going to break it out. Up with speed through the neutral zone. Langell almost met a check there as he'll work it up. Turned over at the blue line. Godkin tries to get it in. Flipped back into the neutral zone as Lance tied up here behind the play. As they're still tied up, we'll see no arm on the up in the air as Langell still tied up in behind the play as their skates are caught together. As haven't seen that too often as the loop from the skate was hooked in behind on the Achilles guard of the other one, as there's no call. They were just trying to get up and out, but check there and behind the play. It's going to stop play as the two guys were tied up. Haven't seen that. So Langell was tied up there. He'll head off for a change. Face off below us, one back and play D-to-D. Thunderbirds regroup off the stick of Lance in the zone. So he was the other man tied up below us here. Here's a chance down the far side with some speed and a shot on and a pad save as that shot from Jackson Gardner. And a good pad save from Boudreau. Mazeral trying to clear it out. Green gets a body on it. Mazeral sticking with it. Good step up there. Alward. Far side, Alward gets it back. He'll play it for his D partner. Green, cross ice pass, and the Dukes will dump it back in. Right on net of Boudreau. He'll stop up and hold on for a whistle with 13:16 remaining on the clock in the opening period. Still no score between the Thunderbirds and the Dukes. So we still await our first goal of this one. It's going to be an offensive zone draw. McCormick will dig in as he'll face off there. Right off the draw, McCormick looking back door is trying to slide in. Delayed call, upcoming shot there from a sharp angle. McCormick gets upended to the point and out. McDonald's going to regroup. Extra attacker on a delayed call as the Dukes back to the power play. Centering pass picked up, dished out wide. English stops up. Sticks go flying. Both sticks for the Thunderbirds players. It's down low. Centering pass. English shot on, hit the iron up on a play. And a good chance there for the Dukes to make it 1-0. They'll head to the power play as it looks like Zwainville to the box for the hook. Hooking the call, power play for the Dukes. They're 0 for 1. This is their second one of the evening. We'll see if they can't capitalize, learn off their mistakes from the first one. Doon will dig in here on the draw. One back by the Thunderbirds. Chamberlain winning that draw. Puck cleared up to the point. Good stick there to poke it out. All the way down as that one off the stick of Martin Carroll. Gets all the way down 200 from his net. McDonald, he'll step out. He'll skate up, now dish it as Doon up to the neutral zone over the blue line. Doon looking to, that was done. He'll drop it back. McCormick half wall. Looking to set things up, the captain. Back up top, walking McDonald. Back down McCormick, handling it over top of the circles. McCormick shot off the post, rebound. They score. Capitalizing out in front was Campbell Doon, his 13th of the season. 1-0 on a power play goal as the Dukes now up by 1. 12-17 remaining. Campbell done with the goal. And the Dukes capitalizing on their second power play of the game. Face off. One back by the Dukes. Played across for Hartman out of his reach. Blaze took the penalty to open up the first power play for the Dukes. It's worked back here by them into their own zone. Green's going to get some pressure. Learmouth finishing a check there. Hartman has to poke that back into the zone corner. It'll be picked up and wheeled in behind the net. Nice job there by Monahan to avoid some pressure. Up the wall, chipping it and not able to get it out. Green back. Here's Hartman. He'll work it for Monahan out of his reach. Langell, far side. He'll chip it out into the neutral zone. Cousins gloves to stick and works it right back in below the goal line. 1-0 lead here for the Dukes in the opening period as we approach the halfway point in the first as it's worked up. Trying to cut to the middle there was Godkin. Lost that. Regrouped. Mishandling the puck. Godkin gets it back. Shot there, and that blocker save from Boudreau coming up big. Down low, Godkin. He'll take his time on the half wall. Gets a little bit of pressure. He'll cycle down low. Cross ice pass, and that hits back into the neutral zone. Back up here, Godkin center ice. Had it go off of his stick. Hartman follows it up. He'll work it back for his D-man. Green centers. Got to be careful there. Some pressure on Monahan. Gets it back. O'Shea centers into the neutral zone. Hartman before the blue line dumps in. He'll peel off for the change. O'Shea back below his goal line. He'll work it up the far side wall under the stick, and Bowring will play it D-to-D. Alward up the wall. Up here's a step for Arsenault. Arsenault walking in, dishing back door as a chance there. Goes off the skate. Arsenault picks that up. Arsenault to the point. Bowring down low. Fisher centered. Back up to that point. Arsenault, he gets some pressure. He'll chip it in. That stays offside. Delayed high stick, and that'll stop play as Fisher with a grade A opportunity. Knocked it down with a high stick. That'll take that away as we approach the 10-minute mark here. 10-16 remaining opening period here inside the K Arena, just outside of Dieppe in New Brunswick. As face-off will come outside of the zone. English will dig in against Mazerall. Face-off one to the wall. English will chip it in. The Thunderbirds regrouping Zwainveld. Terrio centers. The Dukes control. Alward trying to work it up quickly. That goes all the way down. Icing call charged against the Dukes. 10-0-1 remaining opening period. 1-0 lead for the Dukes. The Thunderbirds, though, here with an offensive zone draw. We'll see if they can't capitalize on a face-off play, potentially, as they have the D-man pushed in, as Terrio pushed in right to the top of the dots. To the wall, chip past him into the neutral zone. Pressured back, good pressure from Arsenault. That turns over, here's a chance walking and shooting into the chest of Boudreau. With a good chance there was Mason English. McCormick will pick up the primary assist on the Campbell Doon goal. 1-0 for the Dukes here on the road. As down low, McLennan, he's trying to circle away from some pressure over top of the circle. Shooting, that's blocked. Nicholson sacrificing the body. McLennan trying to get it back to the point. Held in, shot there is blocked. And now a chance back. Here comes Nicholson. He'll chip that in. McNaughton will pressure that. Nicholson on the turnover shot there. Hasn't seen much. Down low, McNaughton turns that over, and chipping it in to the neutral zone was Gardner. As Nicholson back over the line, Matthews had it knocked off of his stick, and here come the Dukes. McCormick in trying to break through, knocked off of his stick and cleared it back into the neutral zone, where the Dukes will control. Green, he'll work it D-to-D for Quinn McDonald. Back across here as Green's gonna skate. Adam Green, he'll chip that in to the far side. Steves takes a bump, was unable to control it. Back to the point as McLaughlin take a shot there. Here's a chance in front for the captain. McCormick was just unable to get a stick on it. What a chance there for Colin McCormick, trying to make it 2-0, get his second point of the evening. 8:38 remaining, opening period. Doon from McCormick is the only goal here so far. It's down low. Here's the goal scorer, Doon. He'll cycle it down low for Dunn. Dunn up the wall, cycling it back down low. McCormick trying to get the stick lift there on Fortin, but good job by Fortin working it up the wall. Turns it over, Dunn. Down low, trying to center, that was intended for the man there, as that was Mason English trying to find the connection out in front. As Chamberlain works that into the far side. Martin Carroll picks it off on the rim from Hatton. Centering pass, Green was right there to intercept it. Nice move, but poked off of his stick. Green right there though, trying to work it back up. Quinn McDonald to the far side. Here come the Dukes offside though, as Chamberlain finishing his check there. As making a move on the far side, Campbell Doon will force his team offside. It's going to be a face-off to the far side, just outside of the Thunderbird zone. Mason English on the draw. He'll face off against Learmouth. One back by English. Monahan works it back up off the stick, and the Thunderbirds entering. Here's O'Connor up over the blue line. He'll chip it in deep. Al Ward keeping him to the outside. Monahan finishing his check. Here's a chance for the Thunderbirds. It's turned away. O'Connor down below the goal line. He's pressured from English. O'Connor, good job protecting the puck. He'll spin away from pressure. Down low, O'Connor. Here's Blaze. He'll step in, poke past him. Now a break for the Dukes. Back over the blue line. Doon works it in. Here's Dunn. Here's a chance. Dunn, short side shot there on his backhand, trying to get it over the blocker. And a good save by Boudreau. Good stick at the point by Al Ward. Getting it back down low as Doon's going to forecheck. Trying to get some momentum as his delayed call up coming. Doon's stick slashed out of his hands by Maxime Learmouth. And Learmouth is going to head to the box, 2 for slashing. And the Dukes back to the power play with just under 7 minutes remaining in the opening period. They look to capitalize and improve their power play percentage. They're 50% here this evening. As the face-off is won and cleared by the Thunderbirds off the draw. Hatton out to stop it there. Monahan will swing back. He'll have his winger swing to the outside. Monahan with some speed. Leaves for Hartman. Hartman back up over the far side, down the far side wing, in below the goal line. Hartman fighting off some sticks there as it's knocked away from him and cleared back all the way down. Zwainveld gets that one down. Hatton out to stop it again. Monahan has a little bit of pressure there from Nicholson. Played up the far side. Fisher allows his man to swing as he'll keep it up over the blue line. Fisher, he's going to drive wide. Can't find its way past Price as he'll lay the body on him. Still loose down low. Arsenault avoiding pressure up top for Monahan. Walking down low. Fisher centers. Arsenault couldn't get enough on it as it goes rink wide. Hartman. Zwainfeld clearing all the way down. And he'll peel off for the change as the Dukes are going to change up some utilities as well, as you see McCormick hop on the ice there. Doon out there as well now. Monahan. He'll wheel up. He'll drop it back. Nice little move, Doon. Off of his stick, though, as he had it pushed away just too far from him. Monahan's going to go back and retreat once again. He'll set the breakout. Monahan steps, drops for Dunn. Dunn, cross ice, no one home. There's now some pressure from Chamberlain on Dunn. Chamberlain's going to have to get back as it's played here for Doon. Doon up for McDonald. McDonald stopping back here for Doon. Campbell Doon looking for number 2 down low. He'll set it up. English up top for McDonald. Crossed. McCormick cross ice pass looking for Doon on the back doors. It goes all the way around to the far side. Here's a 2-on-1 shorthanded for the Thunderbirds as Martin Carroll tried to get that across. McDonald breaks that up. Sticks and body go flying everywhere as it's picked up here as power play is over. Chamberlain on the turnover. Back to 5-on-5 to the point. Peters walking. Crossed. He'll dump it back on the backhand. McDonald stopping below his goal net. Fortin's going to apply some pressure. Dunn on the half wall. He'll cycle back. Cross base pass for Quinn McDonald. He'll work it back. Here with some speed. Bowrig chipping that in past one. Trying to get it in deep. That puck now flipped back into the neutral zone. And now a chance for the Thunderbirds. Cousins working it in on his backhand. Great back check there from Bowring. Here's a chance. Fortin off the iron. And out of play is Fortin left alone in front. Just unable to capitalize there on that opportunity. Is that just getting a piece on the outside of the glove was Felix Hatton. And then off the outside of the bar, up and out of play. Fortin wins it back for Blaze on the draw, working it across. O'Shea, he'll battle for it on the wall. Green getting the loose puck. He'll work it below his goal line. Bowring chipping it up the wall. Gardner centering. Good pick up there. Now up to with speed. Godkin kicks it wide down the far side. Driving down with the chance there was Quincy McClellan. Down low, Godkin. Gardner's going to park himself down front. He'll now join the battle. Good job there by Godkin controlling the puck. In tight, Godkin will cycle for Gardner. Gardner across for McClellan. McClellan in the corner. Pressure by Fortin. He'll leave. Back up top for Bowring. Bowring's shot there. Had some eyes. Just went wide. Stepping in Green. He'll work it down low as Gardner takes a hit. Cycling it back down. Back up here for Gardner. Trying to walk it off the wall. He runs into a man. Matthews centers. Fortin overskates it. And Godkin picks up the loose puck. He's pressured by Blaze. Godkin still with it. He'll play it over to the far side corner by the Zamboni door for himself as he tries to body Fortin. As body's starting to fly here. Late stages of the opening period. That puck chipped back into the neutral zone. Bowring plays it back, and how it gets sent in by Gardner as 4 men change. Now the 5th is all 5 for the Dukes as the Thunderbirds under a little bit of pressure. O'Shea turns that over to Fisher. Fisher trying to step around him. Can't do so as O'Shea tied him up. Clearing attempt held in by Alworld. Alworld trying to work it back. He sticks with it. I don't know how he kept it on his stick there as he had 4 guys draped all over him. Alworld keeps it in once again. Got tied up just outside as Cousins is going to peel off for the change. Clearing attempt goes off the body and held in as great job here by the Dukes. Keeping the Thunderbirds hemmed in. Clearing attempt up to the point. Not able to get that out as English back down low. Blaze Hard rim around to the short side. Bouncing puck. Alward shot on. Puck was loose there for a second. Arsenault was trying to get at it, but good job there by Cohen Boudreau, recognizing he's going to hold on to it as he had some tired teammates out there. 2:10 remaining. Opening period, 1-0 the score, and a power play goal from Campbell Doon, his 13th of the year. The assist going to the captain. As Colin McCormick's going to pick his 16th assist up, as Monahan's going to hold the line. Now on the far side, Monahan walking in, trying to center. As it worked back outside the line, though, as that centering pass goes off a stick. Alward. Nice little fake move there. He'll chip it up, and Alward gets smoked by Lance, as Lance on the far side, giving the defenseman a ride free of charge. As that puck all the way down, Theriault was snuck in behind. He'll almost intercept that as Arsenault flips it back into the neutral zone. Fisher, as Alward's going to head off for the change after taking that massive hit on the far side by Kyron Lance. Here's a chance and a shot on to the chest of Hatton. Has a good chance coming off the stick of number 7, Covey Theriault, as Lance with a big hit there. Trying to get some energy here in the building for the Thunderbirds as they they trail by 1 here in the late stages of the opening period. I score a 1-0 against the second place Dukes. As it's worked up here by the Dukes through the neutral zone with some speed. Gardner just outside the blue line sends it in on a hard rim to the short side. Now chipped back down. It looks like it's going to go all the way. It's going to be an icing call charged as McDonald back for it first. Icing against the Thunderbirds. Minute 10 remaining opening period. Offensive zone draw coming up here for the Thunderbirds as they talk over a play. Gardner out there along with Cohen Godkin and Quincy McClellan on the front end. Green and McDonald on the back end. Here's Green smartly down low on a rim play. Let's see if the Dukes try to capitalize here. Late stages of the first, trying to make it 2-0. Gardner up the wall for Godkin. Godkin's pressured. He tried to cycle off the stick, though, of Learmouth. He'll control. Last minute to play here. Opening period, O'Connor. It chips that into the neutral zone. As below us here, collision between O'Connor and Green as he chips that in. O'Connor gloves to stick. He'll work it up to the far side. Zwainveld inside a minute here. A shot there. Rattles wide. Back to the neutral zone. Price. He'll chip it in. Delayed offside as the Thunderbirds tag up. McDonald down the far side. Learmouth picks that off. Zwainveld will chip it back in to the zone here. Inside half a minute now remaining in the first. Gardner turns that over to O'Connor. There's a chance there as here's Gardner back on it. Chipping that puck off the stick. Now a foot race for it. Trying to get to it was Godkin. Zwainveld takes that away. 10 seconds remaining here in the opening period. McDonald stepping in. Down the far side wall. McDonald spins away from one to the point. And that'll do it here for the opening 20 minutes of play here inside the K Arena between the Dukes and the Thunderbirds, as the Dukes leading after 1 on a power play goal off the stick. His 13th of the season from Campbell Dunn, as that'll do it here for the opening 20. We'll be back here for the second period of action on High Button Sports after this quick intermission. And welcome back, folks, for second period of action between the Dukes and the Thunderbirds here on High Button Sports. I'm Logan Carruthers. After one period of play, the Dukes lead the Thunderbirds on a power play goal off the stick of Campbell Dunn. Insider Mark Rooney informing me on the assist. Colin McCormick now in third place amongst all-time point getters here in the U16 league. He battles with two of the St. John Vito players who currently sit higher than him. So tied for third, looking to climb up there is Trip Livingstone with 84 points in between his years for the Vitos, as up to 82 points, I believe now, is the captain. Colin McCormick is here as the Dukes. As it's worked in, Godkin couldn't control that puck. Chip to the point, glove to stick. McDonald will chip that puck in deep. Is good job there by Quinn McDonald to hold the line. Forecheck for the Dukes get underway. Learmouth will play it around. O'Connor trying to get to it. Pressured by Godkin, finishing his check there. Up to the point, now into the neutral zone. Learmouth working it up over the blue line. Learmouth to move to the outside into the corner. He's pressured by McDonald up the wall. Learmouth trying to center off the skate. Godkin tried to chip it out. Now he will. Is back. Here come the Dukes. Langell 1-on-2 has Godkin with him now. He'll center. Godkin walking in. Caught up in the wet ice. Here's a stretch pass. Now a chance. Mazerall walking in. Great defensive play there. Centering pass. Here's another chance. They score. Mazerall feeding it out front and capitalizing. Ryan Cousins make it his 7th goal of the season. And the Thunderbirds tie it up here at 1 inside the 2 minutes into the second period. Cousins capitalizing on a center feed from assistant captain Alexander Mazerall, his 15th assist on the season, as he'll dig in here back at center ice. And just like that, we're tied up at 1 here inside the K Arena. Back up, here come the Dukes looking to respond after allowing a quick goal here to start the second period. He's back into the neutral zone. Dunn, who's opened the scoring here, turns that over. Mazerall's shot there is blocked by Monahan. O'Shea's shot goes off the shin pad of Dunn. That clearing attempt, McCormick was unable to get it past O'Shea. Here's a chance, Mazerall in tight, and a pad save by Hatton. Centered for Dunn, off of his stick. O'Shea trying to knock it away. Dunn sticks with it. Dunn work in, draws a penalty. Dunn shot, lifts it high over top. Delayed call-up coming, as it looks like the Thunderbirds are going to head back to the box here. The Dukes to the power play. I think that's their 4th of the game, as they look to respond here on the power play. O'Shea, it's going to go for the hook, it looks like, as Dunn got past him and potentially stopping a goal on that play. Is what a series of events here to start the second period. A goal and then a breakaway opportunity the other way, and almost a go-ahead goal once again for the Dukes, but a good job fighting that off. And was Boudreau. Dukes regroup in the neutral zone, flipped ahead, out of the reach of Hartman. He'll try to work it in. Langell, good hand-eye, knocks that back down into the corner. Steeves tied up with Hartman on the end wall, trying to work it out. Steeves will do so, but Fisher to it first. He'll cycle it back down low. Steeves intercepts right back here for Fisher. Fisher down low. Langell walking over top of the circle, sticks with it to the point. Monahan, Hartman down low. Arsenault sets things back up. He'll slow things down up top here. Monahan dishing it off, taking his time. Cross ice pass. Fisher walks in, shooting. Has that great feed there from Hartman. Hartman drops it off. Fisher walks in, fans on that. He'll stick with it. Fisher, sauce pass, knocked down, and Monahan's going to regroup it in the neutral zone. Making a move up through the middle of the ice there. Nice job by Monahan. He'll get it in. That's Ty Monahan to the far side. Fortin, good job to separate the puck. He'll center just out of the reach of Martin Carroll, who's going to peel off for the change. English back below the goal line. He'll set up the power play breakout. English centered. Monahan's going to have to stop up as it went off the stick of Nicholson in there on the forecheck. Work back here through the neutral zone by Langell. The Dukes over the blue line. Langell down low, lets that shot go. It's blocked off of Price. Dunn off the bench for Langell. Centered. English shot lifted up high. McCormick to it first in the far side. McCormick, cross ice pass. Dunn looking back door as it got intercepted. Good job there by Mason Zwainveld, the captain for the Thunderbirds, to knock that away. Dunn. Campbell Dunn opened the scoring. Back for McDonald. Walking. He'll dish it across. McCormick try to go back across the grain. Goes off a stick or a skate. Cycle back down low. Price clearing attempt. McCormick will hold. Colin McCormick down low for Dunn. Dunn centered. Picked off by Price. Right back onto the stick though of Dunn. He's pressured by Zwainveld. Leaves it for McCormick. McCormick sharp angle shot. It's blocked. Colin McCormick, cross ice pass. English walking in. Pad save by Boudreau. Rebound loose through the crease to the far side. Nicholson pressured on the end wall. He'll play it over for Zwainveld. Zwainveld up for Matthews, centered. It's picked off. McCormick cycling it back down in deep. Back up the half wall. Matthews turns it over. McCormick walking in. Shoots. That one lifted high. Past the head of Boudreau. Dunn at the point covering. He'll try to work it back in. Turn it over, though. Here's a on-man rush for the Thunderbirds. 2-on-1. Matthews is going to drive. Centering pass goes off the skate. Blaze off the bench, dumping it down low. Nicholson cycles for Matthews. Matthews trying to work it back out front. Was unable to. Here's Quinn McDonald. Leaves it for Dunn. Dunn for McCormick. Cross-ice pass for English is going to go all the way down. It's going to be a nice and called charge to the Dukes as they won't be able to change, as they're going to be stuck out there with what it looks like to be 4 forwards. As McDonald, Dunn, McCormick out there as well with English. So they still have their power play unit out there. 14:51 left to go here in the second period as we're tied up at 1 inside the K Arena. At the point, held in by the Thunderbirds. McDonald for Dunn. Dunn, he'll play it up right onto the stick of McCormick. Couldn't handle it though as he was looking one way, just landed on his stick. Steves on the half wall, trying to work it up as he'll center it over to the far side. O'Connor, here's a chance. Cousins trying to get his second of the game as he opened the scoring for the Thunderbirds to give them, or to tie them up here with the Dukes at home. There's a shot there, goes off the skate. Cousins battling it down low for O'Connor. Godkin in there trying to work it out. Learmouth back up top. Peters one-time shot there. Bouncing puck, rebound as O'Connor looking for number 2. Hatton down, trying to get to his feet. Learmouth below the goal line. He takes a bump on the far side from Bowring, and out come the Dukes. 3-on-2. Back here's Godkin walking in. Back down low, is unable to get that puck elevated as Dunn will head off for the change. Bowring, he'll pick it off. It's back. Here's a chance. O'Connor walks in, shoots, scores! As that'll be a 1-goal lead for the Thunderbirds on a quick snapshot off the stick of Ryan O'Connor, his 4th of the season. And the Thunderbirds come back and now have a lead here inside the K Arena against the Dukes. Is a 2-1 lead now. Face off back to center ice. O'Connor will pick it up and snap it home. Ryan O'Connor, his 4th of the year, as the 12th place Thunderbirds have a 1-goal lead over the 2nd place Dukes. Is off the half wall trying to get a shot away. McClellan sticking with it. He'll barrel his way through. Getting it back down low. Poked away though. Clearing attempt. Monahan holds it in as that puck chipped back into the bench. Out of play as you'll see one of the players there reach between his feet and hand it over to the linesman. Faceoff's going to go back inside of the zone. The Thunderbirds, who trailed by 1 here, now with a 1-goal lead at home as they look to knock off the much higher seeded Dukes here on a Saturday night matchup. Inside the K Arena, Gardner, he'll work it up the wall, pressured by Zwainveld. It's turned over, and back here come the Thunderbirds. Chamberlain poked off his stick, sticks with it, shot there from distance, off the end wall, rebound out in front, as it took a weird bounce off the end wall. Hatton had to be sharp, turned over in the middle of the ice, and back come the Dukes. McClellan has driving the net, here's a shot there, and a glove save by Boudreau. Holds on for the whistle as it went off his glove, sat in front of him, and he dove on that. As you see, Alward had jumped up and joined the rush there. He drove the net. Face off. Back to the blocker side of the Thunderbirds goaltender Cohen Boudreau, whose goals against average at 3.84 and a save percentage at .902. McDonald off the draw. He'll send it around to the far side. Arsenault picks it up on the rim. Arsenault waits. He'll let one go from distance into the chest of Boudreau, held on for the whistle. As Arsenault kind of maybe thinking about cycling, saw the lane to the net, said, hey, I'll take my chances, let one go. And a shot on is going to be held on to by Cohen Boudreau. We'll see if I can get the assist on the goal. It's going to be Maxim Learmouth on the goal, is getting the assist there for the Thunderbirds. That'll be Learmouth's 4th assist of the season, as holding that line was Bowring. He'll rim it around. Fisher cycles down low. English keeps it moving. Mazerall read that though. He'll try to avoid some pressure. Good stick there by Arsenault, tying up Mazerall as they'll battle for it. O'Shea and Arsenault. Arsenault coming out with it, turns it over to Theriault. He'll get it back. Theriault through the neutral zone, up over the blue line, trying to make a move. He gets stood up and met there by McDonald. Stretch pass for Fisher just out of his reach. No icing, as they said he was going to get to it first. O'Shea up the wall. Theriault for Mazerall. Mazerall centers back into the neutral zone. Is it turnover here? Is a chance for the Thunderbirds. Theriault trying to break through. He lets a shot go. It's wide. No call on the play there, as the Thunderbirds coaches raising their hand wanting a call. Nice play there by O'Shea at center. He'll try to chip it back in. O'Shea over center as Lance will get that puck down in below the Dukes goal line. Bounce off the Zamboni door as a sharp angle shot steered back to the point. Blaze is unable to get it back in deep as Steves chips it back into the neutral zone over the line. Here's Godkin. Nice trying to make a move through the feet, was unable to stick with it. Godkin. As Steves with a good stick there. He tried to work it off the skate of the official though. Nicholson into the feet of the official once again. Steves back for Nicholson below the goal line. He'll put it off the glass. Steves up past Monahan. It's going to go all the way down. Will it have enough for icing? Yes, it will, as Green back for it first. Icing call charged to the Thunderbirds as we approach the halfway point here in the second period of action. 2-1 lead as the Dukes were off to a 1-0 lead on the power play, but the Thunderbirds answering back with 2 of their own to make it a 2-1 game here for the Thunderbirds at home inside the K Arena. Godkin offensive zone draw. Face off, one back for Monahan. He'll rim it around to the far side for Langell. Langell cycling it low. Hartman to it first. He'll cycle it back down low. Nicholson, though, intercepts that. He'll send it over to the far side. McNaughton wasn't able to hold it as Green stepped in. He centered it back, and out the puck comes into the neutral zone. Just below us here, it's chipped in by Matthews. Nicholson's going to give chase. Hartman, though, to it first, reversing for Monahan. Matthews, good stick there, knocks it away. Nicholson, he'll cycle it back down low as Godkin intercepts it. He'll drop it off for Monahan. Monahan stops up. Delayed call upcoming here. Looks like the Dukes back to the power play. As that puck centered, Peters is going to touch up, and it looks like it's going to be a delayed call upcoming here. As a power play upcoming, Godkin having a couple words there as heading to the box is going to be Eric Matthews, it looks like. 4 for Spearing. So to the box, Eric Matthews, 4 minutes for Spearing and a double minor here. And the Dukes with a 4-minute power play upcoming. As Steves off the draw, he'll send it all the way down 200 as he'll kill off some time here to start the 4-minute. As the Thunderbirds coach is disagreeing with the call. As it's up over, here's a chance. McCormick dropping it off, done. Great back check and a great clear by Ryan O'Connor. And looks like the Thunderbirds coach is going to go. 2 minutes for unsportsmanlike, a bench minor to the Thunderbirds coach, and it's going to be a 5-on-3 here for a full 2 minutes. As the ref had told him enough was enough, and one more, and that's what got it to him, and it's going to be a 5-on-3 here. 9:30 remaining in the second period. A big opportunity here for the Dukes to try to tie this one up, as it's going to be a full 2 minute 5-on-3 and then another minute and a half-ish power play if they can kill it off, as the Thunderbirds shorthanded here. McCormick waits, dishes, centering shot, and they score. English bearing it home, and McCormick is going to add on another one as he climbs up the all-time leaderboards, and another power play goal for the Dukes will improve theirs, as that one buried home off the stick of Mason English, his 11th of the game. And the first minor is going to get shrunk down to a 2 minute. It's still going to be a power play, a 5-on-3 here for a minute and 50 seconds. As a goal coming off the stick, as mentioned there, Mason English, his 11th, and it's going to be McCormick's 17th of the year, and another power play goal for the Dukes. Have them tied up here at 2 as they'll stay on the 5-on-3 power play. McCormick trying to cycle it, trying to find a stick back door. Here's McCormick. Corner backing up top on the far side. He'll walk in, shoot off a skate. Nice save there by Cohen Boudreau as Wainville dumps the man below the goal line. Dunn on the half wall. He'll kick it up top for McDonald. McDonald walks in. McCormick walking over top of the circles. Here's a chance. He shoots just wide. Down low, Dunn. English. McCormick up top. He'll walk in. Dish for McDonald. Walking in, shooting, and a stick save. Steering that away was Boudreau. Dunn back up top as McDonald found it. McCormick down low for Dunn. Zwainveld clears. Hars around the far side board. It's going to force McCormick back as Hatton out to stop it. Hatton leaves it for McCormick. He'll gain his speed. Getting his Jets moving up north. Here's McCormick through the neutral zone. Sits third amongst all-time point getters in the U18 league with 3 points as he shoots and scores. And Colin McCormick adds on as he makes a strong push here. And the captain leads the way through, as that one is going to be Colin McCormick's 22nd goal of the season, and another power play goal for the Dukes. Have them on top once again by 1 here inside the K Arena, as 5-on-4 will continue for another 36 or 45 seconds, I believe. I think. So 5-on-4 here for 36 seconds. Is off the draw. Arsenault working it in. He looks for another one. As can they go 3 for 3 here on this quick power play, as the man down in front. A delayed call, very delayed from the back official, as McClellan was down. Here's Monahan walking. McCormick, extra attacker. He'll walk it over top of the zone. Here's a chance for the Dukes as 6-on-4. As it's going to be another power play upcoming. Monahan will dish it for English. English, Monahan. Monahan back down low. Mason English has one in the game, centered. Hartman unable to come up with it as it's touched up here by the Thunderbirds. And cross check to O'Shea. And as the official didn't see it, he just called the man down, and a cross-checking call upcoming, a power play for the Dukes once again. A penalty-filled second period of action here inside the K Arena on High Button Sports. As to the box, O'Shea will sit 2 for the cross-check. We'll see if the Dukes can't capitalize here, as they have 3 power play goals on the game. Up top, Monahan lost it into his feet just outside the blue line. Good job to protect it as he'll cycle back in the neutral zone. Monahan back over the blue line. Nice move to the outside. Monahan shot there off the stick of Steves. Down low, Monahan. Back up top for Fisher. Walks in, shoots into the chest of Boudreau, who holds on and stops play here with 7:01 remaining on the clock here in the second period. As I'll get the assist here for the most recent goals. As it's going to be Hartman on the draw. One back, though, by the Thunderbirds. Peters trying to clear it out. Wasn't able to. Good stick lift there by Arsenault. He'll get it back for Monahan. He'll walk. Monahan, far side. Shot there is blocked by Steves as Fisher let one go. Back up top, here's Monahan. Shimmy shaking. Down low for Fisher. Walking over top, shooting. And that one off the blocker of Boudreau. Taking his time. Hartman across ice. Fisher walks in. Blocked by Steves. And Fortin is going to have time. He'll clear it all the way down. On to Hatton, who will leave that there for Monahan. Ty Monahan's going to wheel up through the neutral zone now. Here comes Monahan. He'll dish it wide for Hartman, who works it in. Hartman slowing thing down. He'll work it back down low. Monahan activating all the way in from the backside. He'll have to work it back. Done at the point. Off the skate of the changing man there as McCormick will hop on the boards as he looks to make his impact here in the U16 league. Well, he has. He's up to 84 points, I believe, now, as he's got 3 on the game. Shot at puck off the stick to the far side. Arsenault, good forecheck there. Puck still in the corner. Back up here on the half wall for McCormick. Walking in, shooting. That one lifted high, up off the glass, into the mesh. Out of play. And it's going to be a stoppage here with 5:44 remaining in the second period. As a 3-2 lead for the Dukes. 19 seconds remaining on the power play. Face off to the far side. We'll see if the Dukes can't get a last few second here on the power play as time winding down here on the power play clock. McCormick, nice move back up over the blue line. Colin McCormick centered. Mazeral knocks that down. He'll clear up off the glass all the way down. Out to stop it is Hatton. As inside 5.5 now remaining here in the second period. Dunn quickly up the far side for Dunn as Zwainfeld and Dunn collide. Zwainfeld looking back for his stick. He'll get it as Dunn up through the neutral zone, dishing for McDonald. McDonald working it in. He'll let a distance shot. That's wide. To the far side. Holding it. Shot there. Green whistled it up past the ears of Boudreau. Drop pass. Theriault intercepts. Clearing to the point. Not out. Alward. Good hold there. Down low. Here's a shot. And a good save from Boudreau as Zwainfeld ran into the man there. Theriault in there to give a shot. Mazeral, as drawing a little bit of attention, was Mason English after the whistle. Inside 5 minutes remaining here. Second period of action. 4:51 remaining in the second. And a 1-goal lead gained back here by the Dukes as we've had 3 different leads. 2 for the Dukes, 1 for the Thunderbirds. Here so far in this one. Crazy Saturday night inside the K Arena. Just outside of Dieppe in New Brunswick as Cousins with a burst of speed. Cousins, he's going to cut in shot there. And they score! And just like that, the Thunderbirds tying it back up, and the crowd gets rowdy inside the K Arena as burying that one home. Maxime Learmouth. And make it 3-3 here on a Saturday night in Dieppe. As what a second period we've had here between the Dukes and the Thunderbirds, as they're going to duke this one right down to the wire. As that icing call off the draw, it's going to be an offensive zone draw for the Thunderbirds. Maxime Learmouth driving the net, bearing it home. It's going to be Learmouth's third goal of the season. As he'll face offensive zone draw there. He'll push it forward. O'Shea stepping in, goes off a skate. Learmouth trying to get it back. O'Shea at the point. He'll work it down, stand his man up. There was McClellan. Learmouth to the point, and a shot there as Learmouth explodes the stick of McClellan as the puck goes. As no call on the play there. As McClellan to the bench, as the coaches for the Thunderbirds want a headbutt there on McClellan, on Learmouth. So Learmouth getting under the skin there as Learmouth and McCormick battling off the draw. O'Shea clearing it right back in. Green, he'll work it below the goal line. O'Connor finishing his check as here comes McCormick though for the Dukes. 1-on-2, McCormick trying to make a move. He'll step around the man and stay up. Colin McCormick back up top for Quinn McDonald. Shot there and a glove save by Cohen Boudreau. Holds on for the whistle as maybe a second here to catch my breath. What a second period we've had here, folks, as we've had three different leaders in this one. McClellan's off to the dressing room to get a new stick. A little bit frustrated there as Learmouth sawed his in half. Got away with one there, maybe. It's to the far side. Chamberlain gets dumped as he works it up. Fortin, though, picks it up. He'll chip it up ahead. Martin Carroll unable to knock that down. McDonald spins away from one. Green up the wall. He dumps Fortin as the Dukes work it back through the neutral zone. Chamberlain, good stick to slow them down. The Dukes and Green as McCormick and Green run into each other. McDonald forced back below the goal line. He'll chip it up the wall. Langell up ahead for McCormick. 2-on-1 for the Dukes. Chamberlain working back, and Hartman couldn't handle the saucer pass. Down low cycle. McCormick picking it up in tight. Hartman unable to get the shot away. Hartman on the half wall. Back to the point. Monahan shot there, sent wide. As Murnahan had a good chance there. Down low. As to the point. All the way down past. As Murnahan's going to have to go touch up and fix his neck guard. 2:54 remaining here in the period. As you see Murnahan there, and then fix his neck guard as it fell off. You see McClellan rejoining his team here for the last 3-ish minutes of the second period. Tied up at 3 apiece. 3 power play goals from the Dukes. And I believe it was 3 regular strength goals from the Thunderbirds. Murnahan at the point, makes a move around Chamberlain. Murnahan walking in, shot there, and a blocker save off of Murnahan. As over, back into the neutral zone. Martin Carroll tied up behind the play with McClellan. As here's Godkin working it back. McClellan's gonna drive. Godkin shoots, and a blocker save by Boudreau. Chamberlain finishing his check on Gardner as he cycled it down to the far side wall. As O'Shea tried to clear, Godkin sends it back in deep. O'Shea, he'll wheel the net. Up for Martin Carroll. Heard footsteps and stands his man up. Delayed call up coming. And we'll see what for. As Martin Carroll, as the play was touched up, we'll wait to see. As it looks like McClellan to the box. And a little bit of extracurriculars here in this end of the second period. We'll wait to see the call and what for. As the officials talk it over here. As the Thunderbirds were the ones with the puck. Interference is going to go against McClellan as he's a little sore, wincing in the penalty box. A power play for the Thunderbirds. I thought it was going to be the Thunderbirds player to go, and I was so confused there because he just stood the man up. So if it was going to be the Thunderbirds, it was going to be the wrong way. As McClellan getting some attention in the box here with 2:12 remaining in the second period. The Thunderbirds are going to head to the power play, but here's a break. Gardner in. Gardner shoots, and a pad save there by Boudreau. Godkin down on the far side. He's going to kill off some time. Price trying to pinch him off. Godkin spinning away. Good job here, killing off some time as Godkin, as we're inside 2 minutes here in the second period, picking that up. Trying to work it out. Mazeral will. He'll kick it wide. Terrio will chip it in right onto the stick, though, of the Duke's defender. As that'll get sent all the way down. Price is going to have to go back for it. As 90 seconds remaining here in the second. Picking it up, Mazeral up through the neutral zone. Mazeral now over center, dumping that puck cross corner to the short side. McDonald, he'll try to work it quickly out, but at the point, Zwainveld will hold the line onto the stick of McDonald. McDonald trying to stretch pass for Gardner. Here's a chance, Gardner shorthanded as, into the boards dangerously, Zwainveld, and Gardner's gonna have a word with him, and they're gonna go. Gardner mixing it up down low. Zwainveld has him in a headlock as Zwainveld and Gardner, and now in there is Bowring, and they're gonna have a Donnybrook down in the corner. That's a good old-fashioned hockey here as Gardner throw, and now we're gonna really go as everyone in there. As now joining in as Hartman gets tied up down low, and they're gonna pick players out. Hartman tied up as Hartman flips the man over down low. Zwainfeld's still tied up as Hartman, as they'll separate, and a full-on Donnybrook here in the K Arena. As what a series of events as Zwainfeld still mixing it up on the far side with Gardner. As we'll see how these turn out here as the coaches start to have some words here in between the benches. As a couple words here. As they'll still have some words. Mason Zwainfeld as he heads off to the penalty or to the dressing room. As what a series of events, and we're going to have a bit of a delay here inside the K Arena as the officials are going to sort this one out. Gardner to the dressing room, Zwainfeld in the dressing room, and a full-on Donnybrook in the K Arena here. As Mazeral looking like he's pointing at his mouth, and we'll see the fans as what a series of events here as some good old-fashioned hockey inside the K Arena in Dieppe as the officials are going to talk it over here below us. They got their notepads out. I'll try to get a peek at what they're writing down. Try to stay out of the shot the best I can, but it looks like it's going to be Zwainfeld as the officials whistles were broken on the play, actually. So they'll have to try to, hopefully they got a second one of those. As a full-on Donnybrook here in the K Arena live on High Button Sports. As I hope you caught it all as they duked that one out. Pardon the pun here as the Dukes and the Thunderbirds in an intense battle here on a Saturday night in Dieppe. We'll be back here shortly as I'm going to try to catch my breath. right, well, welcome back here. The officials getting some numbers and sorting some penalties out here. We'll wait and see. In the box right now, it looks like it's going to be McDonald and Brownrigg for the Dukes. Wait to see as Wainfeld headed to the box, or to the dressing room. So he'll be probably done for the game, I'm guessing. And Jackson Gardner also to the dressing room, as it looks like it's going to be Mazarol and Terrio for the Thunderbirds going to head to the box, as you see the officials and the timekeeper trying to figure out what the calls are going to be on the play. So if I could see from here, it's looking like the Thunderbirds might have got the extra for the board at the start. And we'll wait and see if the Dukes picked up an extra one anywheres at any point. But for now, as Bowring is heading off to the dressing room, and so is McDonald. Bowring and McDonald to the dressing room. We'll see if that's going to end their night. Mazarol and Terrio to the dressing room, as maybe just here with the last minute remaining here in the period, they'll get a 10 and they'll go settle down in the dressing room here for the last minute and a half, as a 2-minute power play looks like it's gone up on the board for the Dukes. So we'll wait and see here who is going to go in the box. It looks like the Dukes are lining up in the offensive zone. So 4-on-4 here to wrap up this crazy second period of play, as we're tied up at 3 with 1 minute and 5 seconds remaining on the clock. As what a period of hockey we have been blessed with. A little bit of rough stuff, some goal scoring, some power plays as in the box. Chamberlain is going to serve the extra 2 for the Thunderbirds here, as just about 1 minute. Here's McCormick's shot on, as he is really trying to get after that point lead here in this one, as he's got 3 on the game so far. Down low, Arsenault protecting the puck. Up top, Dunn shot whistled wide off the end wall, as in a live active end wall here inside the K Arena, as puck on top of the net will stop play with 42.3 seconds remaining on the clock here in the second. 4-on-4 to finish off this one, as probably pretty much seen just about everything here in this one. McCormick off the draw, he'll control, centered out in front. Arsenault got a stick on it, but sent it wide. Colin McCormick, I believe he might be up now, up top of the point leader. Dunn's gonna walk in, fan on that one, as Arsenault retrieves in the corner. Inside half a minute now remaining in the period. Dunn on the wall is trying to work it out. Cousins, as he's got a couple points in this one, sends that all the way down. Icing will be charged, and the clock will stop with 14.6 seconds remaining here in the second, as we'll see if the Dukes don't have a quick hitter off of this one, as Murnahan's going to hop over. Dunn is going to head off. Al Ward will head out. We'll see if McCormick doesn't have something drawn up here. He'll push forward and try to sneak it back door. As you know, that play was almost there, as that could have been too many men, and it will be, as the man out of the box and hopping into the bench too quick. McClellan was hopping out of the box and hopping on. Fisher touches it first. And it's going to be a too many men penalty for the Dukes. So 4-on-4 to start the second period as well, as 1 minute remaining on the power play for the Dukes, with 5.7 seconds remaining in regulation, or in the second period. It's going to be 4-on-4. It's going to carry over into the third period of action. Off the draw, Fortin trying to win it, as it's cleared out by Al Ward, and that'll do it here for the second period of action, After 2, the Dukes and the Thunderbirds locked up at 3 on High Button Sports. We'll be back for the third after this intermission. Alrighty, folks, and welcome back inside the K Arena here, live on High Button Sports. As the third period of action, moments away between the Dukes and the Thunderbirds. As we'll start this one 4-on-4 after a chaotic third period. The players that got the 10-minute at the end in Terrio and Mazeral back out in the penalty box as three players aside here. As the Dukes have Bowring, McDonald, and Fisher, Chamberlain, Mazeral, and Terrio in the box here for about the opening 8 minutes or so of the third and final period of regulation. Tied up at 3 after 2. Will this one need more, or will it be decided in regulation? Third period underway. Thunderbirds controlling off the draw. Price almost overskated that one. Price got to be careful, as we saw the sticky ice at the start of last period being a factor as it's played around the boards. Nice little touch play here. Here's Price with some speed up through the neutral zone. He'll work it in. A shot there. Hatton steers it into the corner, played out in front, all the way to the far side. Allward stops up. He'll wait. Now skated up through the middle, dishing it out for Murnahan. Murnahan across the top of the zone to the short side. Murnahan up top. A shot there goes off the glove of Boudreau. Picked up, trying to backhand wrap around attempt there as he faked going in behind. Mason English with a first opportunity of the third. Here's English walking in. That's shot high as the Dukes now have to kill for about a minute of time. As man out of the box, Allward to his backhand. He shoots that one wide past the blocker as out come the Thunderbirds. Here they'll have a minute, or abbreviated inside a minute power play. It's turned over. Godkin will clear. Steve's back inside of his zone. He'll settle the puck down. He'll play it back. Here's Peters. Below his goal line. He'll step out. He'll dish it up the wall as Fortin wheels up through the neutral zone, and he'll dump it in. To the far side, it's pressured there by Chamberlain, who just got done serving a penalty. To the point, Steves down for Chamberlain. Or sorry, that's Nicholson. Nicholson stops up, waits, fakes a drop over top of the line. Nicholson walks, shoots, that one wide. As a power play chance here, trying to get the lead back as they trailed by one, then led by one, then trailed by one, then now tying it back up here. As there's a shot and a blocker save, back to 5-on-5 is out of the bench. And flipping that out was Fisher, as sending it in was Peters. He'll peel off for the change. As it gets sent in, O'Shea, no icing on the call. He'll stop up behind his net, use that as Arsenault pressuring him out, and Fisher. O'Shea overskated it. Fisher pokes that back in deep. Fisher looking to get right back in on the forecheck after serving the too many men penalty. O'Connor poked away from him. Now cleared back. Allward. Cross ice. Here comes the man is English. Good stick there. A good body check. His physicality continuing here. Just holding it in was Allward. Allward for English. English down low. Fisher. Good stick by O'Shea. English picks it up. O'Shea tied up there with Fisher. English spins away from pressure. Down low. English centering. Arsenault trying to get to it, and tied up there by a stick of Learmouth and out. O'Connor dumps that in. Allward up off the glass into the neutral zone. Learmouth has a couple points here in the game. He's got a goal and an assist. He'll make a move at the center ice. He'll work it in over the line. Learmouth shot there and a glove save. Hatton holds on for the whistle as the third period underway is 16:36 remaining in the third and final period of regulation. Tied up at 3 apiece here between the Dukes and the Thunderbirds. Who will grab the game winner? Will it be in the third, or will it take some extra time? So that puck chipped up. Martin Carroll sends it back in down low. Dunn spins away from one. He'll work it up for Dunn as the two Dunns, not related, spelt differently. as this will be Campbell Dunn. He opened the scoring way back in the first period. Chamberlain picks that off, and out he comes. Dunn, great back check there, as you see the skill and speed of Campbell Dunn as he dumps Chamberlain. As offside called at the line, as wearing number 10 for the Dukes is Sam Dunn. Wearing number 14 for the Dukes is Campbell Dunn. Campbell with an extra E on the end of his last name. Separating the two. They play a lot of time together. They play the power play together. Now out here right now together is Hat'll get sent in by McClellan. So not back for the third period is the captain Mason Zwainfeld, and the assistant captain, I believe, Jackson Gardner for the Eastern Dukes. They received 5 for fighting in the game, so they won't be back here for the rest of this one as it gets cleared down all the way off the draw by the Thunderbirds. It's going to go for an icing, and the face-off will get redone right back where it was just dropped to the blocker hand side of Cohen Boudreau. Not a crazy big crowd here on hand today, but a loud one when things get going. As an action-packed second period, we'll see if it carries over into the third as McCormick sits now in first, tied for first with Trip Livingstone, from the St. John Vitoes, as these two are going to battle out the rest of this season for the top point getter in league history. As the two active players now up to 84 points, I believe, each in their U16 careers, as McCormick will play it cross ice. McClellan chips it ahead. This time it's Sam Dunn. He looks to get on the board. Dunn drops it off. McCormick looking for point number 4 on this game as he'll back check now. Mazerall up over the line. That's Matthews. Eric Matthews leaves it down low. Nicholson. Murnahan in there. Leaves it for McCormick. McCormick spins it up. Murnahan leaves it. Langell gathers on the half wall. Up the middle. Off the stick of Hartman. He'll work in around Blaze. Hartman on the backhand. Forehand shot. Rebound off the defenseman. He'll clear that away. Good job to get that out of harm's way was Peters. Over to the far side. Lance unable to get control of that. Hartman turns it over. Centering chance, and that one just sent wide by Godkin. Al Ward stepping up as it's worked past Godkin. An on-man rush here for the Thunderbirds. Nicholson has McNaughton driving the net. Peters is going to stop up as he thought about joining in there for a second, as you don't want to get caught with defensemen up ice as that puck into the neutral zone. Tyrus Peters, he'll work it back for Blaze. Blaze stops up. Pressure from Hartman. Got to be careful. Blaze plays that nice move there. Still working for Peters, who send that across ice, and Ty Murnahan is forced back in below his goal line. Quickly up the half wall. Langell gathers on his backhand, now spinning up to his forehand. Centering, knocking it down right on the stick of Godkin, who flips and takes a big hit there. He'll hold his knee as he's in some pain, trying to get off, as hopefully he's okay. Godkin, little shaken up here. We'll have to see his 410 there on the forecheck. Turns it over. Murnahan is centering pass, a shot there, blocked by Arsenault. To the point, Steve stepped up, went off of him all the way down. Boudreau, he'll leave it for O'Shea. O'Shea quickly up the wall into the neutral zone for Dunn. Dunn right back. Arsenault, soft feed for Langell, had it knocked away from him. Langell sidestepping his check. Here's a chance. English, as he snuck in back door. Out to the far side, Arsenault. Back, here's Green, quickly up ahead for Arsenault. There's a quick transition by the Dukes, and a shot there, steered back to the point. Fisher, down low. Arsenault banks off of his stick, a stick up near his head. Had him looking backwards. Alward working it in. Here's a chance. Alward shot there right in as Arsenault headed towards the net. Sticks down there below the goal line will get picked up by the official. 12:44 remaining here in the third period. Still tied up at 3 as O'Shea gets his stick back. It looks like it might be broken. He'll throw that in behind the glass behind the bench. Here's a shot and a pad save from Boudreau. Arsenault down low to the far side. Cousins trying to work it out. Unable to is Murnahan at the point, chipping it back down. Learmouth will clear that off the stick of Murnahan. Will take away the icing. O'Connor's going to pressure. Ty Murnahan reversing, gets pinched off, keeps his feet moving though, as O'Connor now turns it over though off the stick of Murnahan. O'Connor spinning away from some pressure. He'll work it back to the far side point. Price bouncing puck, sends that down low for Cousins. Pinched off there by Ty Murnahan. Learmouth centers for O'Connor. Back here though come the Dukes as it's picked off and out through the neutral zone. Fisher makes a move here, one-handed shot there and a pad save. Boudreau on a nice move by Fisher. Far side, down low, here's English. Looking for an option out front. English wraparound attempt, unable to shove it home to the point. Green plays it over to the far side. Dunn cross ice pass, doesn't connect with Fisher. Mason English, stutter steps on the wall, walks out, backdoor chance, and Dunn unable to backhand it in as he'll get tied up with Blaze. Down to the short side, here's Fisher with some time. He'll cycle it for Mason English, but Maxime Learmouth gets to it first, up to the point though. Dunn shot on, and Boudreau recognizing once again his teammates tired. He'll hold on for the whistle. 11:21 remaining in the period. What a game we have had here, folks, inside the K Arena as we're still knotted up at 3 as we await the return of the players serving the 10-minute misconducts. Here in the third period is patiently waiting is Mazeral and Terrio for the Thunderbirds, and for the Dukes, Bowring, and there's a shot on there as 11:09 now remaining here as Bowring and McDonald await. So the two defensemen in the box, that's why you're seeing the likes of Dunn on the back end. Campbell Dunn, you see him out there playing on the far side point as they have a couple D-man in the box. Here's Dunn. He'll let a shot go and a blocker save. Steered into the corner by Cohen Boudreau. Dunn centering. McCormick couldn't come up with it. And out come the Thunderbirds with numbers. Good back check though by McClellan. Right there to turn it over off the stick of Matthews as Steves will dump that puck in. Hatton out to stop that as Campbell Dunn plays it across. And out come the Dukes. Dunn slashed across with speed, trying to get it out of the feet, and unable to get back on side, and time was done as McClellan got it poked off of his stick, and an offside call against the Dukes will stop play. Face-off will go outside of the Thunderbird zone here with just over halfway gone, or just under halfway gone here in the period. Fortin on the draw against Godkin. It'll get played across. Peters dropping it back off. Steves up the far side. Cousins getting a stick on it, taking away the icing. It'll force Alward back. Alward, nice move. He'll cut up through the middle of the ice. Look for an option here right under the stick of Hartman as he takes a bump. Hartman with speed, driving, down below, centering. Here's a chance, and I think that one went off the outside of the net, or the toe of Cohen Boudreau. Alward sending it right back in. Steves is going to have some time. If he can get to it, he will. Steves quickly stretching that up to the far side. Cousins in the feet of the officials. He'll dump it in now as Cousins got stepped up on by Murnahan as the puck up, and I think maybe out of play, will stop up time as I think the dumping went off of the official, up and out of play, as we'll have to get a new puck. Face off to the glove hand side of Felix Hatton for the Dukes. Hasn't been overly busy, but he's let in 3 as a couple chances for the Thunderbirds, and they've been very opportunistic in capitalizing on their chances. You can say the same for the Dukes if they've capitalized on 3 power play goals. As here's a chance, Cousins in tight, and good sticks there. Fortin's gonna battle, gotta be careful not to get tied up there and draw a holding call to the point. Walking in, shooting, that one whistled high all the way back into the Duke zone as it rimmed around the boards. Here's Blaze, as I mentioned there, being opportunistic. O'Connor with a great chance there to give the Thunderbirds a lead back. If he would have buried that one, Blaze, he'll play it back. He's pressured by Godkin. Elliot Blaze heads up. That one cleared up into the Thunderbirds bench and almost hitting one of the coaches there. He's not rubbing his head because the puck hit him in the head. He's just got an itchy head as the puck was cleared up into their bench. As that is one of the fears, has been a part of a couple times where one of the guys has been hit out with a puck. You think of the East Tant Sportsplex. Matthew Dudelay got hit there a couple weeks ago doing a senior game as it got deflected up and got him in the midsection. So it can happen. As the players, though, at this level, understanding where the cameraman is and where I am, I guess you could say, is it's all one-man show here. As up, Thunderbirds work it in. Martin Carroll will chip it in and pressure done. As he goes into the end wall, Martin Carroll, he gets a little bit of a shove there in the back as he'll just lay on the puck, and that's going to stop play. Face-off will come outside of the zone, I believe, because Martin Carroll was the one on the puck. So face-off coming outside. As it's going to be Mason English will dig in here against Learmouth on the neutral zone draw. One back, Price trying to work it in, was unable to. The Dukes now working it over the zone. Fisher had a stick on it, knocks it down low. Steves and Fisher are going to get tied up. Steve grabs a hold of him as they go down to the ice, to the point, Dunn cycling it back down low. Mason English in there on the forecheck. English cycling it past Price. Fisher gets to it. He'll cycle it down low as the good cycle game here of the Eastern Dukes. O'Connor takes a bump there by Fisher. He'll play it across up through the neutral zone. Martin Carroll will chip it in and give chase. Dunn back for it first. Nice job done, just waiting. No one came to him. Now he's going to wheel up ice. Is taking what you're giving to you. Is Dunn end to end here as he stops up. Learmouth pressuring him. Dunn down low. He has English with him. English centering out in front. Here's a chance and a big save by Boudreau. Keeping this one tied up at 3. Cohen Boudreau on a chance in tight for Dunn. As that puck gets played there by Boudreau. Steves up the wall. Touch for Fortin. Unable to catch up to it. McCormick will play it back for Murnahan. Murnahan using his net. Pressure though. Fortin applying it on. As it's worked up here, Murnahan sidesteps a check there by his bench. He'll work it in, chip it down low, and give chase off the end wall. Murnahan, here's a chance in tight. Puck up top below now as Price battling it over for Fortin. He'll work it up the wall. Lance had it go in his feet. He'll try to stick with it, but turn it over down low. Dunn finds a trailer walking in. McCormick backdoor pass. Doesn't connect with McClellan as trying to regain sole possession of, or not regain, I guess get sole possession of the leading point getter of all time is McCormick down low. Dunn back up top. Murnahan, his shot sent just wide. It'll rattle around to the short side where Chamberlain will control it up through the neutral zone. William Chamberlain shot there. Hatton sticks it down. Chamberlain sidesteps a hit from Murnahan, who comes up with the puck. Murnahan spinning away from one. He'll play it over to the far side. McClellan wasn't able to clear. Lance shot there, steered away from Hatton. As we approach the 6-minute mark, Peters knocks that down at center. Has to get back now as the Dukes rake it in. Here's a chance and a shot and a blocker save. Another chance. Boudreau coming up big. Cohen Boudreau with 2 chances in tight. And that'll clear out the boxes here as Mazaral and Terrio will join their team. They'll head right back onto the ice with Cousins up front. And McDonald out now with Bowring after serving their 10-minute misconducts. Here with 6:08 remaining on the clock in the third. The players will head back out as all 4 players, 2 for each team, will join their team and head right back onto the ice as they sat for long enough. So they probably got the most energy out of all the guys. On the bench is McDonald, unable to hold that. He'll send it back in though. Tyrus Peters stops below his goal net, using it for some coverage as that puck centered off the body as Mazeral will play it across, unable to connect. Brownrigg stepping in. He'll make a move, unable to get it around the stick there of Elliot Blaze, who will wheel it up through the neutral zone. Elliot Blaze up over center. He'll chip and chase, bouncing it off the end wall, trying to sneak it in the short side. Was Blaze as Mazeral in there with him. Has it down the half wall, down low, back up top to the point. Peters bouncing puck over his stick into the neutral zone. Now back into his own zone. He'll regroup. Far side for Mazeral. Mazeral back for Tyrus Peters. Peters centering onto the stick and under the stick of Cousins. McDonald making a move as that ends up a few people. McDonald moved to the backhand. McDonald centering back door, and on the backhand unable to control it. As a good chance there from Quinn McDonald to set up the man. In front was Langell, as here he comes now. Langell walks in, shoots that one wide off the bench. And able to keep it in was Green. Onto the stick of Godkin down low. Langell walking out, shooting, trying to sneak it in short side. Rebound loose, and they score! Bearing it home is, can't get a number. It looks like it's going to be Godkin. And the Dukes lead by 1 here inside the K Arena. As bearing that one home, Cohen Godkin, his 5th of the season. And Langell and Godkin on the heavy forecheck, turning it over. And the first even strength goal for the Dukes will come with 4:45 remaining in regulation to give them the 1-goal lead here in Dieppe. Boudreau out to stop it. He made the first couple saves, but sticking with it. And bearing it home was the man, Cohen Godkin, for his 5th goal of the season. Here's another opportunity as up top, Murnahan. He'll let a shot go. It's blocked. Arceau picking it up, and he'll bury the rebound right into the chest of Boudreau. So Godkin and Langell will pick up, I believe, the only points on the goal for the Dukes. I'll make sure, though, for sure for you folks. As what a game. 1-goal game here as we approach the 4-minute mark in the 3rd period. Learmouth takes a hit from Fisher as they'll get in on the forecheck. Here's Elliot Blaze. He'll take his time, get his feet moving north, up through the neutral zone. Blaze will chip it cross corner, or I guess right in on as it went cross ice right into the glove of Felix Hatton, who holds on for the whistle as Nash Langell picking up the lone assist on the Dukes go-ahead goal here in the 3rd period, as we are now inside 4 minutes remaining, 3:56 on the clock. Dukes lead by 1. Learmouth offensive zone draw has Elliot Blaze lined up in behind him at the point. Cousins out there and O'Connor, as O'Connor and Cousins both have a goal in this one as they look for another one. As that shot, as the 3 goal scorers actually out there for the Thunderbirds in Cousins, O'Connor, and Learmouth. Learmouth sitting with 2 points in this game. He has it down low. He'll try to get his feet moving up. He gets taken down, centers, up to Cousins, 2-on-2, has O'Connor with him. Cousins down the far side on McDonald. Cousins drives in below the goal line. Cousins, toe to heel, opens up, trying to center. Bowring, here's a chance, trying to bang it home, and the stick explodes on O'Connor as the puck was loose in front and able to find it and hold on for a whistle was Felix Hatton, as Hatton with a 11-2 record, goals against average under 3 at 2.29 and a save percentage at .920. Face-off to the blocker side of him. As a shot there from Theriault whistled wide. Price is going to step in. Back up top. Theriault had it poked away from him. Now McClellan, as Blaze going to get back. McClellan drives, drops his shoulder, trying to center as Hartman was following it up to the point. McDonald knocks it in, but Following up, Mazeral works it. Terrio makes a move at the blue line on Godkin, who got a skate on it. Turns it over. Here's Hartman back up through the neutral zone. He'll poke that up and in. Hartman with a chip and chase and a shot on into the chest of Boudreau, who holds on for the whistle. Dukes lead by 1 as they had 3 power play goals, and that first one on the even strength coming here moments ago from that man about to take the draw, Cohen Godkin, who's been all over the ice here in this one. Kind of one of the standout players. He's kind of controlled the play a little bit in the offensive zone as he'll get to work down there with Hartman. Take a hit from Fortin as they get tied up, Fortin and Godkin behind the play as Bowring stepping in there to the man as that's turned over back. Here come the Dukes. Hartman centering, unable to get a stick on it was Bowring. McDonald in there, sidestepping a hit from Martin Carroll as he'll chip it out. As we'll wait to see how long Boudreau stays as we approach the 2-minute mark. Arsenault chipping it into the neutral zone. Fortin picking it off. He'll work it in. Back up to the point, Martin Carroll trying to keep it in. Steves on the dump, goes off the skate back in the neutral zone. Arsenault pressuring on the far side. Great game here so far from Connor Arsenault, who has 25 points on the year and just been an Energizer bunny. Was wearing number 12 there. You see him at the bottom of your screen. As he'll look to try to maybe capitalize here as we approach 90 seconds remaining in regulation. Steves up through the middle of the ice. Chamberlain was going to go for a change. He'll work it in over the line. Shot there. Hatton steers into the corner. Smartly keeping things alive, trying to kill off some time as Alward plays it for Arsenault. Arsenault through the feet onto the stick of English as he has Fisher with him. Fisher's going to drive. English will cycle it around to the wall, centering. Arsenault, good read there, getting it back in deep, forcing Blaze to go back as we approach a minute now remaining here. As 60 seconds remaining in regulation. Turnover by the Dukes. Fisher trying to get free, unable to. He'll leave it for Arsenault. Arsenault, he gets taken down for Mazeral. No call on the play. As back to the point, Alward looking for a cherry on top here as they'll try to keep things away from them, as I'm sure Boudreau is going to follow up the play if the Thunderbirds can get things going here as we approach 30 seconds. Cross ice pass. Terrio working in. Murnahan stops him up. Stopping it up there. Murnahan ties the man up. Mazeral picks up the puck. Stops down low as 25 seconds now remaining. Clearing attempt held in by Mazeral as too many men on the ice will be charged against the Thunderbirds as Boudreau didn't go to the bench and they sent the extra attacker, and that's going to cost the Thunderbirds this one here with 19 seconds remaining on the clock. As the goaltender never went to the bench, the extra attacker went on, and it looks like Lance to the box. Too many men, the Dukes, to the power play for the remainder of this one, and it looks like they're going to improve to 22-5 on this season as the Felix Hatton will pick up his 12th win of the year as the offensive zone draw for the Dukes. As McCormick trying to win it through. Here's Terrio right off the draw, looking to tie it up as there is still a little time left. As McDonald clearing attempt all the way up, trying to connect. O'Shea intercepts that. 5 seconds remaining here on the clock. O'Shea's going to try to work it up quickly off the skate, and that will be it. So the Dukes improve to 22-5. The Thunderbirds drop to 5-22. Thank you for tuning in here on High Button Sports. I'm Logan Carruthers. A 4-3 win for the Eastern Dukes over the Moncton Thunderbirds here on a Saturday night matchup. Thank you once again for tuning in. That'll be all for me, folks. Have a good one, and we will see you later.